there. Today I want to talk to you about shoulder health and being sure to take care of the smaller, more intricate muscles of the scapula and the humeral head relative to shoulder movement. So today I'm going to go over a technique that was put together by Dr. Andrea Spina of functional range conditioning, and it's this theory of irradiation. Okay, so irradiation means to create light or heat, and under these circumstances we're going to be talking about creating heat in the body at a given joint. All right, so it's this idea where I'm going to use a tennis ball to demonstrate. In my left arm I can start to contract and flex my hand and squeeze the ball. All right, and I'm going to irradiate all the different tissues and musculature and neurovascular bundles throughout this arm. All right, and in anatomy trains lingo, it's this part of the arm line. All right, while this contraction is happening, I'm willfully sending effort, exertion, oxygen and blood flow to this portion of my body. On the opposite side, the contralateral arm, okay, or arm line, is going to free up a little bit, all right? Or at least, if I'm anchoring over here, I can think a little bit more uniquely about the movement I want to produce over here. So this is a wonderful exercise for anybody who starts to develop that over-protracted shoulder, forward head posture, all right? And even if you're somebody who's going to be struggling with a little bit of scapular retraction and depression, this can help improve the muscles that are involved in the entire shoulder joint itself. Okay, so I'm not going to use a tennis ball at first. The tennis ball is for if you have trouble making the irradiation or the really firm contraction in the hand, you use the ball. I'm going to use a block to put between my thighs to keep my adductors engaged. And then at the same time, it's going to remind me to keep my hips, my ribs, and my head stacked in line the best I can. All right, so you're going to start with your arm overhead. Be sure that the shoulder is already in a migrated position, migrated being closer towards the thoracic spine. All right, and your upper trap isn't really working too much right now. You put your fingertips up top, all right? You see I pulled my head back to encourage working against a forward head posture. And then as I move this arm, drawing a big circle, I'm engaging on the opposite side, making a fist. So I'm trying to create tension and axial tension throughout my center line. At these tough points, I want you to slow down, stick them out, and keep the fingers walking. Now, things you want to look out for is letting your hips spin out. This is the biggest fault that you're going to see. All right, people rushing through it, when really the quality and speed is going to help build the muscles targeting this rotator cuff, but also like the scapula and the thoracic extension and rib basket area, okay? I like the block between the thighs because it's a feedback mechanism for me to keep my inner thighs slightly engaged, all right? And that reminds me to always be working towards a neutral spine, creating this tension and this pressure downward and in my left arm, and then really feeling an opening happening on the right side. Maybe not an opening is the right word, but different muscular recruitment than your typical shoulder exercise, all right? I mean, how many times we see people do, the lateral rotation with a bent arm. And I like this because it's a little more integrated, basically around this principle of irradiation and creating tension right here where the plumb line is on my body, all right? So where gravity is working the most to kind of squish me into any position it wants, I'm resisting, all right? And then I'm creating the motion, the deliberate, controlled action with this arm. And that's it. This is the shoulder health movement for you to do. Integrative, at home, wherever, whenever, movement I want you to do for your shoulders and your rib basket. One last thing is, if you do any self-myofascial release before it, work the pec minor and the pec major area. Basically, because I don't want you to try to attempt this in a crappy position, crappy being internally rotated, medially rotated, possibly like a shift of the scapula, an elevation of the scapula. And that's going to inhibit the effectiveness of this movement. So anyways, that's it. Go slow. I do anywhere from 4 to 12 reps, and if you do it right, you'll break a sweat, okay? Thanks so much.